1st March 2023, I woke up today feeling free. It's just part of nature that if I see a ship sinking, and especially if I know that I can save it, there is no way I can close my eyes to it. अंतर्जामी पुरख विधाते शरदामन की पूरे नानक दास ये है सुख मांगे मुख कर संतन की तूरे. Good morning, welcome back to the weekly Khud. This is 5th March 2023, and before I start this week's session, the date today is kind of important in our family because 5 years ago, 5th March 2018, my grandmother passed away. That has been one of the most significant events of my life because it was the first death I witnessed of somebody really close to me. I mean, the day itself, I very clearly remember the day, March 5th, 2018. I had gone to college in the morning and the lecture was at 8:30 and I left at around 8:40. I had to rush on my cycle. I reached there in 5 minutes. So I reached by I think 8:45, 8:50. It was Nilesh sir's lecture. He used to teach us OS. So I think this is semester 3 or 4. The whole class was full. So I went and sat at the very end, very, very end. And within I think 2 or 3 minutes of sitting down, I saw my phone ringing. My dad was calling me. The thing is, he would never call me normally. So I was a bit alarmed by why is he calling me? Because he would know that I'm in college. And because I was sitting at the very end, it was such a huge class. I'm 70, 75 people and nobody would even know. So I picked up the call. He told me to come back home as fast as I can. I remember being in this sort of panic state when leaving the class. I told Nilesh sir, I need to go. There's an emergency of sorts. Yeah, I could feel my breath. I go running out of breath while I was climbing downstairs. Almost in a panic state of I don't know what's happening. And I came back up. I rushed up and Dr. Dalwani had come. And when I entered him inside, the doctor was leaving the room. He confirmed that she's no more. It was just very difficult to process what is going on because of course it was the first time and yeah, it was a bit difficult. I mean, I haven't thought about saying this right now. When I saw the date of the day, that's when it struck me that it is her death anniversary. So I'm just saying thoughts off the top of my head. If I had written them down before, I'd be a little more concise and my enunciation would be better. But right now I'm just letting my thoughts flow out because that's also one of the purposes of In the Khud. One of the many reasons why I started this channel is to just have a free flow of my thoughts. You can just put them out there and get a chance to process them while I am basically sharing them. The whole day that day was it's almost like I assumed the responsibility of the elder kid who runs around doing things. I first went to Dr. Dalwani's clinic, got the death certificate for her. Then I went with my grandfather, my mom's father, to the cremation place to do a booking and everything. And although he was only doing everything, I was just there around. Then I was running around getting flowers and the things that were needed. And I remember just being so caught up with all these things that when we were taking her for the cremation in the ambulance, I felt this rush of, I literally had last few minutes or so with her, the last few hours, and I spent it running here and there, which was obviously important and had to be done. Somebody had to do it. But I really felt like I could have spent that time with her. That was many things were going on in the mind and I didn't quite know how to process all of it. And when we were at the cremation and when she had been cremated, that's when I kind of broke down and I started weeping because a lot of it was guilt, because she used to love me a lot and I also loved her a lot, but I used to be quote unquote busy, and so she would every time call me to come and sit next to her, and I would go sometimes I'd be no, I'm busy, and I'll make excuses and stuff, which is what immature kids do. They don't know about. And They do know, but they don't realize that there is a certainty called death. Subconsciously, in a lot of ways, my inclination towards death and philosophy and existentialism could have pivoted at this point in life. Like now that I look back and try to connect the dots, it's a little thing I want to share. So it's like an important date in life. Anyways, today's vlog I wanted to document 3 main sections. This is basically a summary of the entire week, how the week went. Making scores even, A shortcuts not working, screenshot whole web page, and sinking ship. This was yesterday, sinking ship. It's an interesting story, I'll get to that. So making scores even, the first 2 days of the week, that's 27th and 28th February, I had to, of course in the last week I had completed the long pending lot, which was the majority of the work, but the work wasn't done yet. I still had to. I don't know why I've written 440 or maybe it is 440, but this entire week I remember getting about 330. This could be a typo, but let's say 440. 12:30, starting with, I recorded in the inthekhud session and edited and uploaded it, which is amazing. 12:30 I started with uploading about 19 episodes of show 2 made by Parmeet. Then 3 o'clock uploaded 19 episodes, few more to go. Then about the same for show 3. Also addressed a major query, which was quite concerning. Okay, I had to tell it to the production house. Strangely, as in nothing from full-time jobs end so far. Feels very good though. Now I'm sort of free. Let's see how the day proceeds. Show 2 offline submission done. Addressed quite a few things on dad's work. Still some work is left to be done here. Will get done fully by tomorrow. So the next day I get all of the things that have to be done. So 28th you see 3:45 a.m. A plus part. Working on 6 episodes for show 1 at 7. Idea to execute short form video of how fan on speed 1 feels too slow and on speed 2 feels too fast. That's the thing I wanted to do, never got the time to. Probably will do at some point. 9:10, 4 episodes done, 2 to go. We'll tackle post nap. Then 11:39 woke up at 11 by Dadu's call. He lost balance in the bathroom, so I had to pick him up. Thankfully he didn't get hurt. The situation is pretty much in balance. In other news, one member from my team is taking urgent leave from today till the rest of the week. Need some time today to figure dad's work situation out. Then from tomorrow I'm basically free. Then A shortcuts not working, screenshot whole web page. So basically the next 3 days I want to talk about a few more things, but these 2 things are like small things I've learned technically, so I'll just go through them. But before I'll go through the days, so 1st March 2023 is kind of like I'm writing a speech down like Martin Luther King or something. 1st March 2023, I woke up today feeling free after 4 long months almost. Every bit of dad's work has been sorted now. Moving forward, I need to devote 1, maybe 2 days a month for it. There is one constant parallel of full-time job, which for the most part is easily manageable. One more constant, because dad's work is also a constant parallel. My main focus now is YouTube. From next week onwards, I'm starting 2 uploads per week on the main channel, while 1 upload per week continues on inthekhud. Here's the plan. In the Saturday morning session, we record the 2 videos, talking header, camera part. Then we edit these videos and possibly even schedule. Then on Sunday morning, we edit and upload the inthekhud vlog, which is today. So we get the entire Sunday free to do whatever. That is not going to happen. I'm writing this at that time, but what will happen is for me to record the scripted videos for the main channel on Saturday morning. I should have my script and everything ready, but turns out that Monday to Friday it's just bonus. Like I might get time to work on it, but most of the time the work time will go in full-time job or something here and there, and I will not get time. So Saturday morning, in fact the Saturday whole day, can be devoted to doing research and getting the script ready for the videos. Sunday morning can be devoted to recording the inthekhud session like right now, and recording the videos that I want to shoot, I want to edit for the main channel, and then throughout the day Sunday I can edit and try to complete the edit. That's a more realistic timeline to work on. If it happens, great, we have a bank we're building on, but it's not likely to. I had woken up at 3:40 am. I did A plus part. Everything was normal until Savaiye. Then I went to Chaupai Sahib. I don't have the written text for this, so all I would do is close my eyes and sit for that part. Usually it'll be very painful to get through, because the moment I close my eyes I feel extremely sleepy, so it is a constant struggle not to fall asleep and stay awake. But today, the moment I closed my eyes, I started deep breathing. I could smell a very pleasant fragrance, and I'm not making this up, it was an actual experience, of the nature of newly printed books from a library. The reason I feel this is something divine, because from an objective standpoint, there's nothing in my room currently that would give out such a fragrance. This is a blissful experience I want to note here, the first I've had since my Amrit Vela part has started. So I've heard these people who do katha and preachers, they say that you will have divine experiences, or you will a very pleasant smell, or you will have a vision of God, or you will hear something. I had this thing where I got a very beautiful fragrance, and it continued as long as I was inhaling, which is amazing. And that fragrance for me, like the most pleasing fragrance for me is that of new books. So I think that's why that came. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, I'm not making this up. Like, there's no fiction involved here. I actually experienced this. So AE shortcuts, the part that I was talking about. For a long time I was struggling with this weird thing in After Effects where even after assigning a shortcut to fit to 100%, it just wouldn't work. So here's the solution. Go to Preferences, General, Reveal Preferences in Explorer. Locate the AE case folders here, which is the doc.txt files for all shortcut profiles you've made. Open it in Notepad and manually enter F in all places where 100 appears. Fixed. That was first. Now on second, I had gone to office. I have documented something about that on the next day, which is 3rd or Friday. Friday again, woke up at 3:50 a.m, 6:45 at its team. Then I ate Maggie, and then 8:36. Not sure about why there's 8:36. As I've grown more and more sensitive in life because of Nitnem Part and Amrit Vela and listening to Gurmani Katha, I felt very disappointed in the morning because yesterday, which is Thursday, the office day, I spent the whole day being extremely Baharmukhi in contrast to being Andarmukhi. So Baharmukhi and Andarmukhi. Baharmukhi is somebody who's very outwardly focused. Andarmukhi is someone who is inwardly focused. It was office day yesterday, was naturally meant to be interacting with colleagues and bettering communication skills. But yesterday I was joking too much. I was talking too much unnecessarily. That's what happened. Like, I was just kind of all over the place. Even though I made a very good video, like a grid kind of video there, it was very complex and it required a lot of work from my side. I could have just shut up and be in my self and like in my zone instead of trying to over interact with everyone or just joke around a little too much, which is just wasting a lot of energy which I want to preserve, mental energy and physical energy. I want to preserve and invest in places where I really want to make an impact in my life, which is YouTube right now. Speaking of YouTube, I need 2 draft scripts to start off next week. I'm picking one for I'm sorry, I'm very tired. I'm extremely tired. Picking one for motion graphics and one for introduction to animation composer. So that was Friday, and Saturday, 3:45 a.m. Listening to Katha, I had discovered that Sohela Sahib is part of Nitnem, which you read before you go to sleep. And the entire purpose of it is to the Maut Chete Aave Bandeno. So you should remember death when you sleep, or have Guru in your thoughts when you sleep, because there is no guarantee that when you sleep you will wake up. So it's a good kind of way to end the day, because I also start my day through the Nitnem part. Just makes like a complete circle in itself. This was Friday, 12:54, pretty sleepy after taking all tasks in the morning. So slept from 9 to 12:30. Head feels more heavy than fresh, to be honest. This is yesterday, okay, Saturday. I have actually reached the 3rd point, which is sinking ship. I did not realize. I missed one thing here, screenshot whole webpage. They said it is going to be all over the place. So for small things I've learned on Friday, super important thing, when we take a screenshot on the phone, Samsung Galaxy, there's a button called scroll capture, which allows you to capture the whole webpage. I used to think you're supposed to manually scroll down exactly equal to the page every time and then take screenshot again. But it turns out you just keep pressing the scroll capture button over and over. It adds more and more of the current web page to your selection. Proper usage of this feature is huge when it comes to videos that require screen recording to be done, because manually scrolling always looks messy and kind of jittery. And then if you want to make changes and stuff, you have to mask, and then you have to animate the mask because it's actually moving and everything. So can even make a video out of this, which is a very good video idea. Why I'm saying sinking ship is it's just part of nature that if I see a ship sinking, and especially if I know that I can save it, there is no way I can close my eyes to it. So what happened is on Friday evening, I was working till 7:30 for the full-time job stuff. They had like new videos coming out, new requirements coming up at the last minute and stuff, which is fine. Thanks to that, I understood the scroll capture situation, so I'm grateful for that. But around 7:30, I got a call from one of the solutions person that I did not pick up. Couple of calls from her actually. And then she messaged saying that there is this edit we have to work on, but your teammate, he's saying that he's not available. Can you work on it tomorrow, which is Saturday? And I did not respond to that message, because I know that if I either picked up the call or respond to the message, I will end up saying yes in some or the other capacity, And I wanted to really keep the weekend only for YouTube because this is very important to me right now. So that's my work commitment. And as it is, I have work commitment, which is dad's work. So there is a very strong cover that weekends are not for the full-time job because I have these work commitments to figure. So I did not respond to that. And then later in the night at around 10:30, I got 10:30 or 10, I don't know, PM. I got another message from another solution person, which this is an important one here. And she said that, can you take out just 2 hours tomorrow, Saturday, for some few basic edit changes and stuff. And even to that I did not respond. I mean, I was not sure of what to respond to these people. Like, so what happened is, over here I have not, like yesterday, I have no clue of what's gonna happen. Head feels more heavy than fresh. The plan for the day is pretty straightforward. Whole day is figuring a bunch of small and one kind of interesting great video around 15:49. Update on the full-time job situation. It is really against my nature to see a sinking ship and let it sink. So here we have set to make the changes they want to make. Let's see how time goes. I'm still a long distance getting scripts ready for tomorrow's morning's shoot. So what happened exactly, I haven't documented. I'll just go through the timeline quickly for the sinking ship. At around 2 p.m. or so, there was a message by the founder on our video internal group, saying that I know everyone's unavailable, but can someone just help us with 3 edits because the client is very, very annoyed. And it was, and I spoke to the solutions person. He's like, oh my god, they are at the verge of, we want to leave if you can't get this done for us, which to me sounds very unreasonable. Like, out of nowhere you're coming and asking for work to be done on non-working days and then saying that you're going to leave because it's not getting done. But anyway, of course it was an emergency kind of situation, so I rose up to the occasion and I was like, I'll figure it out. But then that's where the entire problem started, right? The client had some video shot and edited by some other vendor, and changes were to be made to that. So that vendor, they shared files, they shared project files. They did not even share open files. They shared project files without the footage, without the elements that have been used in the project, without nothing. I was given the project files and I was given these changes to be done. I'm like, I need the media. How do I, if the project is not collected properly? The guy from this studio who shot it for the client, he told me that our studio is actually close by. We can get you the hard drive instead of us trying to put it on a drive, because it was 25 GB of content. And it's actually close by here, like 10 minutes. Next to the Unity Mac. We agreed on I will go and get the hard drive from them because they were not in a position to deliver it or whatever. And VFast was just unnecessary at this point. So I went there at around 5:30. I brought the hard drive. But again, the problem is the hard drive only had the footage. So whoever was working on those project files, they had their Premiere project have elements which were imported from their C drive, from downloads and videos and stuff like those, which were missing in the project. And that is where I was like, this is not happening, because a lot of the footages and a lot of elements are still missing. And it turns out I knew right from the start that all of that missing stuff I could manage from my end as well, because I had the final rendered videos. From there I could just use the music and the missing frames in between and just do the changes and get done with it. But I was adamant on getting the entire complete open file, because if something is not figure outable from my end, then that shouldn't come on me. So I just said that I haven't got the full open files, asked them to give me the full open files. And so after that I went to gym at my normal time, 8 to 9. And during my gym I got so many calls from these people and from the solutions person from the full-time job, and in the end even the client, she also called me up. I don't know if she's the client, but working for the client's team, she also called me, and then they added me to a group. And 10 o'clock I got those files which were missing. And even then there were all these other projects which I downloaded, and they also had some missing files, and it started to get a bit stressful because I was taking it very easy, like ho jayega. But then it became a little stressful. But thanks to this vast experience I've had now with a huge spectrum of different situations that can go wrong when you are working in a stressful situation. You don't have the fonts, you're downloading an MP3 or some music file, and it is not getting imported in Premiere. Why is it not getting imported? I've been through these troublesome situations and cumbersome circumstances so many times now that I basically know how to maneuver around things very easily. It's just like my brain just works naturally. So I did figure it out, and by 11:50 I had uploaded. I had sent the 4 videos along with the change that had to be done. I think this has to be the latest I've worked for. It's not that I was working since morning, obviously, but putting something out for the full-time job at like 11:45 p.m. or something is very unusual from my end, at least, because I have these very strict boundaries that I work with. And towards the end, everyone was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of thank yous came about. Yeah, that's how I wanted to summarize the sinking ship situation which happened yesterday. Of course, it is not in my nature and not something that I should be doing, because I'm not in a position where I'm in a very important position here at this full-time job, and I consider it as a responsibility to help out in situations where it's like a dire situation, like a client is going to leave or something. That's what it was. And I'm trying to check OBS here. I don't know, I'm getting a feeling maybe the mic is not recording properly, which will be terrible. Yeah, one final thing I actually wanted to point out is physique. So I've been taking creatine for I think a month now, with 1 week gap in between, because I was trying to figure my allergy situation. I can see noticeable difference in my body. I should probably do a session where I do like a proper before after thing, but I am very tired. I have no strength. Does anything come across in this video? I don't know. Every time I do the bicep, this, like, I can see specifically with my arm, like the size of the arm. When I do arms in the gym, I can see in the mirror that things are starting to happen and the physique is start to take shape. And I wouldn't say it's because of creatine, it's because of regularly going to gym, taking whey protein. And creatine is more or less, it could be a placebo, I'm not sure, but it has definitely done something. I would give it that much. But I think in the long term I'm going to see a lot more positive changes with that. That was like a little quick update, and I have gone till 30 minutes. It's going to be such a pain to edit this video, which I'm obviously not going to do right now. Let's see. What is going to happen now is, because Tuesday is a holiday for Holi, and Tuesday is when I want to upload my first video. I'm going to take tomorrow and day after as well to get the shooting. Maybe if I'm not able to shoot tomorrow, I can shoot day after morning as well, and that is also fine. The important thing is to just get started this week on YouTube for Rajmeet Singh Arora, and we'll see how the streamlining process happens eventually, because it's a new format for me, making tutorials in this scripted format where I'm not doing something live as I used to for the creative workflow. It was very live and everything was happening almost in real time. So editing that video was a completely different process as compared to this video, where I'm going to script everything and screen record everything and then do some sort of commentary on it. So that's going to be a very different process, and will take some time to adjust to it. Yeah, I also want to mention that for the Endless Engines challenge, I haven't forgotten about it, but I've pushed it behind. Basically going to rely on some form of divine intervention again this time around as well, for me to be in a position to actually upload or submit something for that challenge. But even if that doesn't happen, my priority right now for the next couple of weeks is YouTube, so I'll try and figure that out now. Pardon me and my extremely lethargic and tired state of mind and state of being here. I'm trying to put on a face as like I'm energetic, but I'm not. I really just want to sleep. Thanks so much for being in the crowd. I'll catch you next week. Peace.